Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's great to be with you. I am going to be colouring in Magical Dawn by Hanna Karlzon, and I have already pre-planned a beautiful colouring page here, which is the bunny page. And the reason why I've decided to do this page is mainly because I have already done a lot of the thinking and planning, so it just makes it really easy to sit down and get started coloring. We're going to use a bit of Neocolor IIs for the background, and then I'm also going to predominantly use Prismacolor pencils for the rest of the work. Hopefully it will all come together. This is my color palette, so the berries are going to be yellow, the leaves are going to be blue. I might alternate some of the berries between like a red, a yellowy and a pink, and then the background is going to be this green here. So, and then I think I was going to do a white bunny with possibly gold around here, and then do the gemstone in possibly one of the other colors, and then I might use a gel pen for all the decoration around there. So that will come at a later stage. Hi Kenny, hi Carly, how are you? Right, so what I think I'm going to do is actually get started just coloring with pencils, and I might then move into the background. There's just a lot of fiddly bits, so I think I need to get myself sorted. All right, I'm gonna bring you down into this bottom area here and we'll work there. Thank you. Yes, I am good, although I'm struggling with a bit of insomnia, so that's not a lot of fun. And yeah, my one eye keeps twitching, I think because it's so tired. So it's just really not always that fun, but hi ho, you know, we just carry on, move forward. Okay, so I am thinking it's going to kind of go in a gradient from dark to light and kind of transition it lighter. I don't want to have too much white space around the bunny because I feel like a white bunny into a white background, it will get lost. So we'll see how it goes. I have to think out loud. It helps me process. Okay, lots of different leaves right around here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just do this side here with the berries and we'll get started. You may notice my pages are quite dirty. I've given up trying to color clean. I've decided it's not actually possible. Alright, so the blue leaves are going to be indigo blue for my shadows. For my midtones, I've got a periwinkle and a blue slate, and then my highlights are going to be cloud blue. Oh, interesting. Honey with some salt for insomnia. It's very interesting. I will consider it. I don't have insomnia the whole month, which is very good. It's just from time to time I struggle to fall asleep, or my sleep is quite light. I find reading at bedtime helps my brain to start to settle down and get ready. But there are months where it just kicks in, and yeah, I think it's because I'm getting older. I remember being slightly younger in my 30s and being able to sleep pretty okay. Nowadays, it's fluctuating. But I recently discovered red clover isoflavons, and that's been really helpful actually, as far as some of my mood swings go and fatigue and all of that. I actually feel more balanced. So that's been a real help. Bananas help you sleep too. I wonder if it's because of the potassium. You need a kangaroo to knock you out. Alright, so I want to vary this a little bit. No, I actually haven't tried melatonin. I remember giving melatonin to one of my boys when they were younger. I guess I just forgot about it. Buff kangaroos. Okay, melatonin in gummy form. I'll have to look into it and see where I can get it. Because I currently am taking magnesium, calcium, evening primrose, B complex, and then red clover isoflavons. Oh wow, okay. It's good to know that the melatonin has helped you. Okay, if I pause, it's just because my brain is trying to catch up. I'm getting terribly lost. I'm like, is this half a leaf? What am I looking at? But I think it's just one really big leaf. So I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone to try and make more fantasy leaves and berries instead of sticking to traditional colors. Making an effort. I used to take chamomile tea when I was pregnant, and that, yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. I've taken quite a liking to jasmine green tea, or is it just green tea with ginger? I quite like that. Oh, fair enough. If you don't like the taste, it probably wouldn't work very well. I've met some people who really enjoy peppermint tea. Now, I've tried peppermint tea, but I can't really get over the flavor. It's almost too strong. Yes, twinnings are quite good. Okay, then I'm coming to my periwinkle. I should probably explore the twinnings again. Yeah, my hubby had to stop me from throwing grated carrot into the pasta pot tonight. I just did not clock it. we had quite a laugh because, you know, pasta mixed with grated carrot probably wouldn't have been a good idea. Oh, that's cool. Your sis got you a box of different calm and sleep teas. Right, I'm going to do this little bit here and then see how it looks. Okay, now I'm going to use my blue slate. No, I'm sure you'd sleep. Although having a good tea is very relaxing. I've been trying to drink more tea in the evenings than decaffeinated coffee. Especially, you know, those more herbal type teas. I do think there is something soothing about having a cup of tea around bedtime, you know, an hour or so before bed, even half an hour. I do like this color palette because this blue is not overly bright. It's almost muted, but it's still got a strong color. Okay, and then now I'll use my cloud blue. Tea fixes a lot in Britain. Cold, have some tea. Sad, have some tea. Just had a baby, have some tea. It reminds me of a little meme I saw on Instagram, and it was a pyramid. At the bottom it was tea plus a book plus a couch. There was a whole thing, and oh, tea and a biscuit and a book and a blanket. Then the next level was tea, a biscuit, and a book. Then the next one was like tea and a biscuit, and then right at the top of the triangle was tea. Tea is a consistent necessity in Britain. I remember when matcha tea was quite a thing. It was a few years ago, and I was asked during my freelance writing era to write a whole blog article on matcha tea and the benefits and all of that. So that was really interesting. I think they have like antioxidants, relaxation, all of that. So, but I don't think matcha tea is quite as popular as it was back then. Yes, tea is the common denominator. Okay, I want to come back to my indigo and just re-put in my shadows. You could probably use a cool gray, so 90% cool gray if you want your shadows deeper. Much as like drink chewed up grass. Oh, I love lemon and honey for a cold. It's one of our family staples. Oh, hubby and I will use honey and lemon. The kids don't generally ask for it unless they're really struggling. All right, let's go back down. So just going back down again. So I'm thinking some berries will need to be yellow, some will need to be pink. All right, so what I'm going to do is just bring in moss green now. The pause, so it's probably going to come up to about here. So this is the Neocolor II Moss Green. So the bunny's body is kind of coming here, but it's probably going to get darker, so I might have to bring in some pencil on top just to darken this. Almost like the rest of his body is in shadow. So what do you prefer? Backgrounds first, backgrounds last? How do you color your pages? Okay, so you do them last. I find it tricky sometimes, backgrounds. I'm always amazed at the people who can just see a background on a page and implement it. Fair enough. You do them last. Take a picture without the background just in case. I tend to do a mixture. Some pages I don't do a background, some pages I do the background first, others I do it last. Like in this page, I'm kind of doing the background as I go along. All right, let's try. Might make this one yellow with a bit of pink bits here. Maybe that one pink, pinky yellow, maybe these pink. I'm just trying to work this out in my head. Oh boy. Okay, so now I'm going to use black grape. Okay, and then I'm just going to go from my darkest to my lightest, so now I'm going to use dark purple. It's good advice. Take a picture before you do a background. It only matters how it looks on Instagram. Yes. Instagram only cares about Instagram worthy pictures. Hi Dawn, how are you? Hi Shani. Oh, feeding critters can be exhausting. Looking after critters can be exhausting. Actually, let's skip that one. I think what I will do is put Posca highlights on these berries towards the end. Oh, I'm so sorry you were sick, Dawn. I hope you're feeling much better. It's not fun to be sick. All right, let's do this one pink, that one yellow, yellow, this one pink. brain is getting confused. I got a confused brain. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the color palette. Okay, I'm going to make this kind of like that. Makes more sense. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, Dawn. There's been some nasty bugs around lately. Probably vary within the colors. So you could do some darker, some brighter. I don't think you could really go wrong. Just need to remember to leave a highlight in your berries. So I got really excited to find out that there is a new checklist challenge. So I can't wait to actually get started planning what pages to go with the new checklist challenge and see what I can color in. I'm most likely not going to complete the entire challenge, but I'll give it a good shot. Okay, and then if I do a bit of yellow berries, So this is burnt ochre. Oh wow, raspberry iced tea. That does sound good. I like iced tea. I think iced tea is very refreshing, especially if you have it mixed with the right sort of like flavorings, like, you know, strawberry and mint, for instance, or yeah, I mean, because sometimes those restaurant teas are a little bit more than just a tea. All right, so then I'm going to use my goldenrod. I love peach tea. I think peach tea, hot or cold, is just really yum. Okay, and then Sunburst yellow. I will probably use paint pens to help with the black lines and create highlights. And then I finish it off with a Deco yellow. I think these are my first yellow berries. Hi Connie, how are you? Thank you. The yellow berries, yeah. I think it will look great when everything comes together. So my background colors are moss green, light olive, lemon yellow, and pale yellow. So I'm going to work a bit more in the background. And I think I want this moss green to kind of come up to about here. So we do that there. And then I want the corners to kind of be dark, kind of coming in. So, all right, let's see. So I've learned a trick with Neocolor IIs. If you dip the tip into the water, you activate the color, and then you can actually color it in. Which I think is really cool. Now if I sharpen this, it will work even better. I can push it in into here just by dipping in my crayon into the water. And I get a far more intense color going on, and I can do it with the other color. And I can kind of blend these two together. With it while it's wet. You can just move it around. So it creates a nice blend, which is a really cool party trick. So what is it about your Neo 2s that you struggle with? streaking. Okay. Are you putting enough pigment down on the paper? Then you could probably take like a paintbrush and just gently blend that in. Because the crayon actually holds a little bit of water, you can actually use that water to help you activate the pigment, and the crayon, you can use the crayon to kind of help you blend and push all at the same time, which is super cool. And it's blended. Streaking blotches. So if you don't put enough pigment down, you will get streaking because there's not enough to actually go into the tooth of the paper and cover everything up. If you use too much water, you can also cause that sort of like streaking sort of thing, and then blotching can happen if you're not blending the colors into each other, or you're using too much water and that sort of thing. So it's really getting your water, the water part of whether it's Inktense watercolor pencils or Neocolor IIs, the water side is quite critical, but it just takes practice, and if it's any consolation, I still struggle. Sometimes I put far too much water. So it's just practice, really. You'll get it. You could always practice on a scrap piece of paper and see how that works. So maybe get yourself some thick cardstock or a watercolor pad you don't mind practicing on, and you could just practice there until you feel more confident before bringing it into your coloring books. I never listen to that part of my advice. I'm terrible. I always go straight into my coloring books without any practice. So, yeah, I'm not talking from experience. And I have the mistakes in my coloring books to prove it. But I really like this trick where you just dip it in, and then you do get a little blotch of water. As you can see, the water does pool a little bit, but I can maneuver it a bit more and then carry on blending with the other pencil. Oh yes, I love that page. Yeah, I did not think about how that was going to turn out. I just dove in. But this is my practice book, so I don't mind. And sometimes I try to deliberately allow myself sort of that space to make a mistake, because I can get caught up too much in it being really a masterpiece and whatnot. So sometimes I have to deliberately practice not being precious about my coloring pages and practice telling myself it's fine, you know, I color because I enjoy it, not because I'm a master. Also, by dipping your crayon into the water, it does make it a bit more like smooshy, so it's almost like coloring with butter, so to speak. Right, if I dip my finger in some water, can I blend that out? Oh, look, that's cool. You can even use your finger. If you also sharpen your crayons, you could easily use your crayon to go into all these small crevices, or you could use a paintbrush. And dip it in here with the yellow. And you can also feel when the water is gone off the tip of the crayon, because it kind of changes feel. Oh, well, wrong color. Oh dear. Okay, never mind. I'll just play with it. Feel like let's go with the pale yellow. I like this technique for blending my Neocolor IIs. I'm finding it gives it a smoother blend than with a paintbrush. Could possibly blend it out a bit more with the white crayon. Okay, so if I leave that there and I bring in the lemon yellow into here, yeah. So I think what I'll do is in the very narrow bits, I will use a paintbrush, but I'll probably do that off camera. And just blend that out. The only thing I didn't want is white bunny on white background, so I needed a lighter yellow to help with that. But you could always dilute it more if you wanted less vibrant. I'm just trying to make sure I bring this down so you can see. So this is just one way I've recently discovered. It's not exhaustive, of course. So you can use this, you can do the other techniques. And it probably has, yeah, it has bled through a little bit onto the other side. I give up. So yeah, if you don't want it to bleed through onto the other side of your page, you will need to watch the water or use a paintbrush. It all just depends on how precious you are about the page at the back or your style of coloring. I mean, there's no wrong way. There's just your way. I found if I worry too much about my pages, I don't necessarily have as much freedom to explore. But I found it helpful to have one book where I can explore, and then the rest I try and not mess up, or I'm a bit more thoughtful of, you know, the background and the bleed through and that sort of thing. Right, think I'm getting this coming together. In some ways, this sort of technique feels a little bit quicker, but I'm not sure if from a water management it's better. I like how you can blend with it, and I think that's quite cool. No, I'm not talking, I'm concentrating. Sorry, I'll try keep talking. Right, so tomorrow is Pancake Day, and we normally have pancakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the kids always want savory pancakes. Not savory, sweet pancakes. So I've already been told, chocolate spread, please, Mom. Cinnamon and sugar on pancakes, maple syrup. And I'm trying to convince them that for dinner at least we should probably have savory pancakes. Oh good, I'm glad everything is fine. All right, so we are almost done. You can probably go over places with a paintbrush if you like. Okay, so then the rest down at the bottom will be that moss green. Yep, pancakes all day long. It's a bit of a tradition. I didn't know about Pancake Day until we moved to the UK, and then I realized Pancake Day was a thing. And the kids would go to Cubs, and you know, it was pancake thing. So once I realized it was a thing, I was like, okay, we can make a big deal out of Pancake Day. I don't mind. So we do go all out. It's the one day a year where they get to eat pancakes the entire day. And tomorrow I invited friends over, so we could have Pancake Day with friends. It's great that you're going to do pancakes as a Friday dinner. Do you do savory pancakes, sweet pancakes, a mix of both? All right, I think I might move on and do a bit more leaves and berries, but basically this is my color palette. with the exception of the white bunny. I thought doing something nice and vibrant would work. I didn't want to do a blue background. I wasn't looking forward to doing a blue background. It's so easy to do blue backgrounds. Oh, savory would be a good idea, but it won't happen. No. I mean, I slightly giggle at the whole ethos behind Pancake Day being, you know, emptying your cupboards before Lent and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go buy more food for my cupboards so that we can have pancakes. So I don't even pay attention to the real like purpose behind Pancake Day, because it's too much of a thing with my kids to just have pancakes and have a treat. So it's more like a treat day. So I'll probably go buy more chocolate spread. I don't tend to do cream, but if they wanted ice cream, I'd do more ice cream. I try limit them. I didn't grow up with too much savory pancakes. My mom always made pancakes kind of like an in-between between a crepe and a regular pancake, because she would make them as wide as a crepe but much thicker, so they were never crepes. And then she would put cinnamon and sugar on each one with a splash of lemon juice. So I've kind of kept that tradition, more out of nostalgia whenever I make pancakes. But then I've also exposed the kids to like different toppings. So I must have been in my 20s when I went with my husband to a specific place. So in South Africa you get a casino with restaurants, and there was movie house and other entertainment places. So it's sort of like a mall inside a casino, or a mall with a casino inside it. And at one stage, in the one corner, there was tucked a pancake shop or a pancake restaurant, and they had savory pancakes and dessert pancakes. And that's when I realized that you had more than one way of eating pancakes. And I had, I think it was chocolate and banana pancakes with ice cream, a vanilla ice cream. So that really was like an eye-opener. I lived a sheltered life. Okay, so these sort of sections here, I think I'm going to use a paintbrush, and I will probably do that off camera, but I'm going to use the moss green, and everything here will be with the moss green. And then I will touch up in the nooks and crannies with the relevant colors. But I will put all my Neocolor IIs for the background in the description, so that if you do want to follow along, you can. If you don't, that's also cool. I mean, whatever works. Right. I'm going to move on to my more berries and leaves. You've seen basically the color palette, so it's pretty much going to be more of the same. I might make maybe a silvery blue stalk for these other leaves, so I might do that. Let's see if I can get some silver. Let's see. We'll have a play with some of these other leaves here and just see what we can work out. So put a paper on so I don't smudge anything, and I'm going to start with my blue indigo. And I'm going to try a silver. It will also give it a bit of a shine, which I think could work really pretty. And a cloud blue. I'm not sure how this is working out. I'm really not sure. But I want that blue in, and what I could do is probably use a black grape just to deepen that blue so it's not black but it is slightly darker. Alright, so the silver isn't really standing out against this background, so I might just play around with the blues and the purples and see what we get. think I will try and use the cloud blue. I can either use the cloud blue or I could use a pink. Maybe we use a pink. Let's see what happens if we use pink. Blend it out with the cloud blue. I'm really just making this up. I have no idea if this is even gonna work, but we can just play around and see. Oh, no worries, Dawn. Could probably blend this out with a white pencil. Don't think it really matters. So using black grape, I'll just color over all the Neocolor IIs. And I can always use a white Posca pen to put back anything I color over. I think that's a mistake. Oh dear. Okay, never mind. I'll erase that later. Oh, I'm out of them. the frame. So sorry. Right, there we go. That should help. So I'm basically alternating between indigo blue, black grape, hot pink and cloud blue. And I layer the indigo blue over the black grape, and then I bring in the pink over that, and the pink and the blue will just help with that purple look. But then the cloud blue is my blender. I'm hoping in March I will get to doing some more portraits. I think that could be a lot of fun. I really do like coloring portraits, so and then April I'm going to dive headlong into fairy tales. I'm really looking forward to fairy tales. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks for hanging out. It was lovely to have you. I hope you have a great day and a great week. So I need to work out what to do with the center of the flowers or these leaves. So I think I might just black up the centers really. Something like this. Right, so I'm gonna go back down to berries in a minute. All right, so those will just tie in color palettes. All right, so we'll balance this out. So I'm going to do this yellow, probably yellow, 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 and then these ones pink, something along that line. So trying to keep it kind of dark into light. This is just the burnt ochre in my deeper shadows. I might even put in gold stars. We'll see. I don't always know what to do with the stars and dots in the backgrounds. I'm like, what do I do with those? We can actually make this one kind of half pink, half yellow. And I could do this one sort of like half yellow, half pink. Sort of like in the same way you would have your raspberries or your blackberries, kind of like half ripe, half not ripe. Okay, I'm going to go in with my black grape and kind of plot this out. You won't get berries like this anywhere else but in this magical world. The magical world that is my brain. Oh my goodness. You could use Inktense pencils for all of this. I had just planned my page with Prismacolors. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I think it will look really great when it comes together. Hopefully next week I can do the bunny. So I think when you really put it down and get the background out the way and you start doing your elements, it's really straightforward. So I reckon we'll do the bunny next week and see how it goes. But I'm not going to get round to finishing these berries tonight. There's a lot of berries on here. Could make that one yellow. Okay, so now I'm going to use my goldenrod. Lift the color up, just go over it and pull out a little bit, but then sometimes you have to go kind of round and create like a internal spot, like highlight. It's not always on the top edge. So I am starting to really fade. I think I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. I can actually feel my eyelids getting heavier and heavier and heavier. Hello Brittany, how are you? Then I got my Deco yellow. I do need to practice berries and knowing how to interpret the illustration and where to put the highlights. Alright, so now I use my dark purple . Quite like mixing my berries up because it does give it a different kind of look. It's very tempting with berries to make them all the same. I missed this one. Oops. Don't miss the berry. I like this way of coloring because you can get a lot done at the same time. I'm still trying to decide which page in Dark Fairy Tales, because I've seen the review. I'm trying to figure out in my head which page would be a great starting point next month. Hey Carol, how are you? I keep finding myself looking for a Deco pink, a very light pink. But what I'm going to do is use a white Posca pen for my highlights. And because I know the white Posca pen will kind of blend into the pink, I know it's going to work. Definitely a single page. Yes. Single page, ease into it, and then, but it's more like which fairy tale, because I feel like because he's doing more, you know, more than one page for a fairy tale, some of the fairy tales are like 3 or 4 pages. So I'm sort of thinking, okay, maybe what I need to do is pick a fairy tale and then focus on those pages. But then again, I don't know. I mean, it could get too much to do just one fairy tale. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the background. I am almost done with these berries. Right, I am almost done. Done a lot of berries. There we go. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so you can have a look at the full page. There you go. So that's what it looks like so far, and yeah, I think it's not too bad. So I'll touch it up off camera, finish the background with the moss green. I will put the color combos and what I've used in the description below, and next week we will do the bunny and hopefully clean it all up and finish it. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for another great live stream. It's always such a pleasure to color with you and chat, and I look forward to seeing you all next week for another color along. And if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments for future live streams, and I will see you next week. Thanks everyone, and take care. Have a good week. Bye.